Hi, everybody. My name is Dafna Lender. I'm a trainer and supervisor in therapy and dyadic developmental psychotherapy, two attachment-based family therapies. And I'm here today to talk to you about playfulness in your family and with your child, with your children. What do I mean by playfulness? I mean activities and interactions that are not at all based on rules and on winning and losing, but on having laughs and having fun and having joyful moments that have kind of spontaneous, jokey movement, silliness, or just having like a back and forth. And it's for no other reason than just for pleasure. It doesn't have a goal to teach anything. It doesn't have any really firm rules. If you win or you lose, then it's really okay. It's just for fun. And it isn't also something that has to have a lot of equipment or a lot of props, and definitely not talking about electronics at all. Okay. Play is like a child's flow, and flow means being in the moment, having no other worries to think about, not having preoccupations, and having your attention diverted. It's that zone where you're enjoying yourself so much that you kind of forget about the world, and you're just truly engaged in the here and now. And for adults, a lot of times it's like chatting with a close friend, or maybe if you enjoy playing piano or playing tennis, reading a good book or cooking, something that gets you in the zone. Well, for children, that back and forth engagement with the eye contact and with the laughter and with the facial expressions and the movement and the mimicking is what they're really, really seeking. And that is not just for fun and just to pass the time. It's not just an activity that is sort of frivolous. It is actually the stuff of what joyful connections and true, deep mind reading and what we call intersubjectivity is made out of. Because when you really play with somebody and there's that back and forth, you really get in sync with their mind, and you become very highly attuned to what their meanings and gestures are. And so you can imagine somebody that you know really well and who you enjoy, that if, let's say, you're in a conference room or if you're in a family situation and somebody says something and you just look the other to that person that you know really well, and you can just exchange a look like, I know what you're thinking, because you've really, really spent time and studied that person and you have a lot in common. You're like on the same wavelength. And that also goes really well for when you need to be able to cooperate with your child. They need to cooperate with you. Having a lot of that playful energy in the bank makes them a lot more amenable to your influence. So maybe if they're misbehaving a little bit and you make some playful joke, that they'll take it in that light rather than getting hurt or it falling on deaf ears. And so I'd like to share a video with you of me playing with the family in a way that I'm talking about, that is this sort of light, joyful, just for fun kind of way. These activities are from the TheraPlay repertoire, and I'm a trainer in TheraPlay, and we just have a whole lot of activities that can get this kind of interaction really started and going. And so let me share with you my screen. Hopefully everyone is able to hear and see. And this is just a family with two 12-year-olds, and they're going to play a bunch of games that I would encourage you, if you feel like you can make time for these, you can play them at home too, and they do not have to be with 12-year-olds, because you'll see they're really simple to adapt for younger age. So let's start. This is just a balloon game. Just pass it back and forth just for fun.
Okay, now you guys did it really well like that. Do you think you could do it with your, like soccer players, like with your knees and with your head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how many times you can do that.
Okay. 1,
2,
3,
Oh, it's okay.
5.
help you out.
6, 7, 8.
9.
It
Oh,
fell.
you should try that again.
Okay, and as you see, there is not a competitive aspect, but they're counting together how many times they can pass it. And so if they meet their goal, it's a collective goal, like how many times can they pass it back and forth. And as you noticed, I said, that's okay, it's just for fun. So if he doesn't do it exactly with just his knees and his head, the focus is not on doing it right. And I would highly recommend that the parent not say, oh, you're cheating or you're not doing it the way I said. And if another child is playing, like 2 children, and one is saying to the other, oh, he's cheating, say, oh, you know what? It's just for fun. And he's trying the best he can, and you're okay too. So I think you can really stave off those conflicts by modeling yourself that this is just for fun. All right, let's see another game with a balloon. These are just real simple activities. See if the kids, if it's 2 kids or if it's a parent and child, have them walk around the room holding a balloon between like different body parts and see if they can march around and keep it up, keep the balloon between them.
Start walking. Look at that. Quite a lot of coordination between you two.
Your face.
Keep going. Okay, now you're going the other way. Okay. That is really good. Okay, there's one more. Let's see if you can you do hip to hip? So you're standing side by side. I know you guys are a different height, but there you go. You can put.
Not that different anymore.
Not that much. You can wrap your arms around each other so you're putting kind of like that. Now that looks great. Okay, start walking around and see where you can go.
Okay.
That way.
And you can see, I don't have to, you can do it forehead to forehead, you can do it hip to hip, you can do it back to back. But what's nice is you get nice touch, Sometimes, kids might have a problem with touch where they're too rough or they don't like to be touched. And by doing it in a game, you can have your hands around back, around each other's shoulders and back, but there's a purpose to it. So the kid can be less resistant. And that's kind of a way to be able to connect that way. Okay, so another funny game that you can do with balloons. So you've got three games that you can play with balloon, which is, this game is where you whisper a secret. It's like broken telephone game where you say a statement into the balloon, put your lips up to it, and then it's hard to tell what the person is saying, so they have to guess, could they hear it right?
Oh, your mom's really having to think about this.
I know.
Even though being encouraging and stuff, I'm so glad I'm doing it with you.
Yeah!
Wait, what? You got it?
Yeah,
You got it!
What did you say, Heather?
even though being encouraging is tough, I'm glad I'm doing it with you.
Oh, they're so cute.
So that's the game where if you put your lips right up to it, the vibration of the balloon makes it a little obscure, and then you have to guess what they say. So they were able to do it really well. This game is with no props whatsoever, and it's just mirror each other. So you'll be the mirror for the other person, and they move, and you just move with them as if they're looking into the mirror. Watch this.
Next. I forget what next.
You keep going.
Okay, the mom was the one who was in charge of starting, and then after that, then her son is going to be the one that she's going to mirror him. But do note, these games, activities, they seem like they're just for fun, but it promotes turn taking. It promotes where the child is having to listen to the parent. And the eye contact where they're having to really look at each other and connect that way. So there's so much in these interactive games that leads to really good social skills. Okay, so then he's the leader and she's following him. Let me show you another game. Now this game is for 2 kids. It's a little bit of a fun and naughty game that you can allow your children to have fun and kind of tease their parent, but it's safe and nobody gets hurt, and it's clearly just for fun where the kids can win against the parent. So you take cotton balls and you stack them in a line in front of the 2 teams, which is the kids against the parent. And then you, on the count of 3, you throw the cotton balls at the other side and see at the end of 1 minute who has the least amount of cotton balls on their side, and that's who wins. Let's watch.
That's right. Okay, now guys, when I count to 3, everybody has, the kids have to throw the cotton balls on Eva's side, and Eva's going to throw them on your side. And then I'm going to count for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, I'm going to say stop, and then we'll count who has the least cotton balls on their side. That's the winner.
It's like the staying on your lawn, like PE, off my lawn.
That's right. Okay, are you guys ready?
Hang on, let's see that.
Get set, throw.
No, we have to throw them. We can't go past that line. So all the balls that are on our throw it. I think there's someone under you. Under me? Yeah. There's under you. Oh, yes, there's some on that.
2 against 1.
Even there's still some under you.
Well, thanks for. Oh my gosh.
You shouldn't have said that.
Come on, Heather, step up your game. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Okay, how many on the kids' side?
you don't have any.
0.
What?
That last second, they got them all over by
You guys are the winners for sure.
Can we switch back more?
What'd you say?
If we do another one, can we switch back more so it's for
Yeah.
Okay, so the parent actually allowed the child to win, the children to win. And I told her that that's what she should do, actually, because I want the kids to feel like, in this case, they can sort of beat the parents. And some people say to me, well, that's not realistic. In real life, they wouldn't be able to, like, have the rules, be bent to where they win. Well, one of the principles, actually, of child development is that if you feel the kind of recognition and joy and strength and vitality of being triumphant at home, where your parents, they kind of let you win, but at the same time you kind of know it, and yet they bask in your glory and they enjoy your joy. That's actually what makes a child be more resilient at school. If they lose, then they're not that much of a sore loser and they can take it with more grace. It's actually the opposite of what you think. And so if you have a child who you think is kind of a sore loser and who likes to cheat, you might think, oh, I better keep the rules and teach them through playing games with rules like Monopoly or Candyland that has clear rules. But actually, you want to be able to let them feel that sense of like, I'm masterful and I'm strong and I'm triumphant through more cooperative games or more simple games or games where it's really part of it to make them feel super strong and super recognized. That's what they're seeking. And once they get that filled up, they actually feel more calm about it if they lose in like a team sport or something like that. Let me show you just 1 or 2 more. This next game is a funny game where the parent has to guess. Everybody knows the game called This Little Piggy Went to Market. Okay. It's also like in every culture they have it where you play with the toes. So instead of saying this little piggy went to market, this little piggy stayed home, this little piggy had roast beef, and this little piggy had none, you actually say, kids, I'm going to guess 5 favorite foods that you like to eat, and you don't tell me if I'm right or wrong, and just at the end you'll let me know if I was right. And then you say to the parent, says, this little piggy likes mac and cheese, and the kid has to keep a straight face. This little piggy likes ice cream, and so on. So let me just show you how that's played.
Oh my gosh, Milo wants to get in on the action. Do you hear him scratching on the door?
Yeah, I mean, he can come in if he doesn't bother you.
This little piggy likes banana nut muffins. This little piggy likes Nutella. And this little piggy likes chocolate chip banana pancakes.
Yay! So good.
And then the kids can do it to the mom if they want to show her that they know her really well. Another funny game, and I'm trying to get away from the sun here because the sun is moving across my desk, is the final game I'm going to show you is where you take pieces of toilet paper and you measure the child's body parts, like how tall they are from head to toe, how wide their wingspan is, how long their foot is, and then you measure it and see if it compares to other parts of their body, because the human body is quite symmetrical, and a lot of times their height is the same as their wingspan if you take their arm side to side, and the kids find it fascinating. You'll find other things that are really surprising, like their foot is usually also corresponding with the length of their forearm. I'm pretending to guess that because I'm going to guess which is, like, after they cut off the length, I'm going to guess what it is.
Okay. Ready?
Okay. Okay, well, now let me check what this is. Okay, can you please put it up to Halal's, around Halal's head?
A little closer.
Not her head. Okay, can you please put it along Halal's back? Hey, is it Halal's back?
No, but it does fit.
Oh, okay, I get one more chance. Can you please put it along Halal's arm from her shoulder to her wrist?
That's it.
Yay!
Okay, so I'm going to stop my video, but that game you can play, you know, some of you are thinking, oh, I could play this online with maybe my clients if I'm doing online therapy. You can. This is like really conducive to, if the parent and child are at home and you're doing online therapy, you could do it this way, the way I'm supporting the mom and telling her you know, what to do, and applauding them and praising them and kind of making little adjustments. And so you can definitely do that. Or if you're a grandparent, or maybe a family that's deployed, you know, where the one parent is in the military maybe, and they want to play a game where the mom, one parent who is away has closed their eyes, and then the other parent measures the child's something that the first parent couldn't see, and then the first parent has to guess, oh, can you please put it, oh, and then you can say, see, I know you really well, and have that connection, even though you're not in the same physical sphere. Okay, so I hope that you've taken away some ideas. Not necessarily specifically these games. They are there's such a variety when you're just in the mindset of finding playful ways to interact with your child and get that flow going. See you next week. Thank you for coming.